Hello, everybody. My name's Brian, and this one's a long time coming. So, I have been planning to do this for so long. The list used to look like this instead of what it looks like now, which is this. So, yeah, this version of the deck is just better. I tried running the old version, got stomped over and over and over again. So, here we are hoping for a slightly better performance in a more modern list. Oh, good. Adobe's updating. Glad that's in the video. Anyway, this is your basic Delver Grixis Tempo list. We have 4 Delvers, we have 4 Dragon Rage Channelers, we have 4 Bowmasters, and we have 3 Murktide Regents, thus kind of being the entirety of your threats. From there, we have some cantrips in Brainstorm and Ponder to smooth your hands. We have some Stifles to ha-ha things, also to stop our creatures from dying. We have some removal in Lightning Bolt, Molten Collapses, as well as Orcish Bowmasters, some Dazes and Force of Wills for permission magic, Mishra's Baubles for the Dragon Rage Channelers and Murktide Regents, and finally a basic mana base of 3 Volcanic Islands, 3 Underground Seas, a bunch of fetch lands to go get those lands, as well as 4 Wastelands. It really is just stick a threat, protect your threat, and try and win the game relatively fast, I'm willing to say. In the sideboard, we have our Graveyard Hate in Unlicensed Hurt and Grafdigger's Cage. We have Pyroblasts to go up against opponents' counterspells mostly, Vice of Progress to haha lands players, Meltdowns to get all the artifact decks out of the way, some Hydroblasts to go up against red things, sneak attacks, goblin decks, so on and so forth. A Counterbalance now. This is the first time I'm putting Counterbalance in a deck online. I am normally quite bad with Counterbalance, but actually last time I cut it from a deck, I had people tell me that it's really important, it should really be there, so I went ahead and put it back. A Brazen Borrower can bounce things, also just another threat, and 2 Force of Negations for when you want to be a little bit more controlly. So this is an incredibly fair deck in something like Legacy. Legacy is very well known to be an unfair format, so let's go ahead, dive into some games, and see how we do with the fair deck in the unfair format. Join me, won't you? All right, so we win the die roll. Hip hip hooray. No lands that produce mana, or colored mana, that is. Wow, no threats. So things are going well. I don't think we can keep this either. Let's try one more. So we're mulled to 5 is the best we're going to get. I'm going to put Merc back. I'm going to put one of the Brainstorms back. We do get to go first, so I do get to just play the Delver. I'm going to put a stop in my upkeep so we can Brainstorm in my upkeep, at least try and set up the Delver as much as we can, unless our opponent does a 1-drop and we feel as though it's important to daze whatever they're doing. But we're already down to 3 cards, so we are staring down the barrel a little bit here. Okay, didn't do anything yet. That works for me. So in the upkeep, before that goes off, we'll go ahead and Brainstorm. Now the question is, do they have their own days? They're going to Force of Will the Brainstorm. I'm going to let that happen. Go ahead and get rid of this yield. Scalding Tarn, no. It's actually good to see the Scalding Tarn, though. I'll go ahead and just play Wasteland. And just poke them for 1. I guess they're thinking I'm so low on cards, they don't want me smoothing at all, which is fair. So they're in their main, and we're going to blow up anything if they go get a non-basic, because we got nothing else going on here. If we get a blind flip on the Delver, though, I feel like we have a chance. Otherwise, we're literally sitting here with our 1/1 for 1 doing very little. Opponent plays a Tropical Island, and they go to combat. So I'm just going to do this now so that they don't get to use that in their second main phase. I mean, they could do something at instant speed. They're absolutely allowed to do something at instant speed, but we're in combat. Stifle. Sure. So we Rashad boarded them, I guess. Please blind flip. Nope, just a Darcy. Now at least our daze does something. All right, well, we have our 2 little guys out. Unfortunately, they remain 1/1s, and we kind of need them to deal 3 damage at a clip if we're ever going to do anything with this game. Our opponent's not going terribly fast, though. They got nothing on the board. But this could be Omni Show, or this could be like an Alrune deck, or even just like a Uro pile. Like, there's 1,000 ways this goes poorly for us, is what I'm getting at. Setting a stop on my upkeep so I can Delver and pop this after the Delver trigger happens if I don't like what Delver's about to draw us, because we definitely don't need any land, and we don't need like another 1-drop. If you're playing a 1-drop, go for it. Okay, so they do that in case there's a Stifle, probably. Please play a 2-drop so that my daze has something to do. And then maybe even I get 3 types in the bin, because I can't get 4, because I already have a Brainstorm and a Wasteland. Witherbloom Command. Well, we are going to try here. What do you see on top? A daze. We're going to leave that on top. This way, our dude flips. So we reveal daze, and then we crack, because we don't want to draw daze. I am going to get the Underground Sea in case we draw the Orcish Bowmaster. It gives them a bit of knowledge when we're not exactly winning, but we can't risk. Ooh. We don't have 5 in the bin, though. That's unfortunate. We only have 4, but this way we're slightly closer. We attack for 4. Gonna get rid of these yields. I do think we just drop the Murktide and leave the Dragon Rage Channeler small if we find a way to do that. All right, so our opponent has 3 mana now, so they have a chance to do pretty much whatever they want. We have a Murktide in hand and nothing else, so yeah, how about that? I mean, if they have a Bowmaster, they can just nip the Dragon Rage Channeler. This looks like a Fatal Push. Yep. Unfortunately, that gets my good one. I thought it was yielding, but apparently Mikko decided I wasn't. I do have 5 things in the bin now, though, so I do get to play a 5/5 Murktide. Got that going for me, which is nice. Murderous Cut. All right, so they're down to 2 cards. They're also down to 11. really lowered themselves on that one. So we're gonna go ahead and just Murktide here. Daze and the Brainstorm, and then just kind of the creatures. Leave the Wasteland in the bin. If their last card is Force of Will Blue, then it's Force of Will Blue. They also do have a lot of removal, but they use their Murderous Cut on a 1/1 Dragon Rage Channeler, so we got that going for us. All right, if you have a way of killing our dude, kill our dude, because Dismember is just active. They could just full cast Dismember, and there goes the Murktide region. It does make me really interested into what's going to happen in Modern Horizons 3, considering that my deck is so Modern Horizons 2 heavy. If you take a look at the clock in the corner, you could see my opponent's taking a long time to try and figure out what to do with their turn. They've chosen to do nothing. Nothing is their answer. I feel like Murktide dies somehow. That's what I feel like. Maybe they'll let us hit them. Okay. They go to 6. I mean, we have lethal if they don't do anything. I feel like they're sitting on stuff. I feel like they were just waiting to see what I did to try and determine what they wanted to do. Yield until the next end step. I mean, we mulled to 5, and we're even representing lethal here, which is kind of funny. We don't have any haha I wins in this deck, like Sneak and Show has, or the new Rescamator deck has. There is a lot of just fair magic. What are they doing? Witherbloom commanding, lose 2, gain 2, and got rid of my guy. That's fine. Do you have something that kills the Murktide, though? I feel like that's more important. Right, nothing there. Just gonna do this. I guess a Volk. And hopefully we draw a Bolt, which would be funny. Ha! Speaking of funny, attack. Even if they have Spell Pierce now, we're pretty fine. So we're just gonna hope to clean this out. And with the power of luck, hey, we win the game. All right, against random nonsense. Unlicensed Hearse, maybe even Pyros. Dazes aren't going to be good if we're on the draw. Maybe even the Counterbalance and try that. Let's try this. I'm not going to do the Grafdigger's Cage. I don't think they're going to be doing a ton in the graveyard itself, but the Unlicensed Hearse to eat their graveyard seems pretty good. Yeah, let's try this. All right, our opponent chooses to play first, which is the correct thing. We have a pretty good hand if we don't get Wastelanded. This deck is so greedy. It is the greediest deck you'll ever see when it comes to mana base. That is the one thing we're doing unfair. So, like, if they go Wasteland Go, that's very bad, but Underground Sea into Delver? Into nothing, okay. I feel like they have a Stifle, so I'm going to just eat the Stifle with my Wasteland rather than my Fetch. The Fetch is kind of more important. Lorien revealed, okay. Well, we knocked him off a black, I think. I don't know, I was reading Stifle so much and I didn't just want to lose the game, but we pretty much restarted here, except my hand's a lot sketchier with 1 land. If I draw another land off the top, my hand's wonderful. Brainstorm, okay, cool. So I'm safe to play out one of my things. And I think I'll play out the Delver rather than the Channeler. The Delver might blind flip, or we might try and do the Brainstorm in our upkeep. Whereas the Dragon Rage Channeler, like, don't feel like that's where we're at right now. We really do need to move fast before this guy gets whatever he has going online. Oh boy. We've also drawn so many instants and sorceries in a row. I suppose there's no chance we get any more, but here's my Delver, and to stop on my upkeep. If they counter this, that's even fine. Okay, well, they let it go out. It might die to like a Witherbloom command or something. Wasteland, that's not what you want to see. Oh, it's a Beans deck. Okay, well, what our opponent doesn't know is if he Wastelanded us, the game was over. So he got the Beanstalk down, which is just good for him. Now, a land or a instant or sorcery on top would be great. Dragon Rage Channeler. LOL. Oh, I had a Brainstorm I could have used. Oh, well. That's what I get for not paying too much attention to details. So we are going to ponder. Wasteland, Bauble, Murktide. I'm going to any order that. I don't think that helps. And we drew a Murktide. Well, they're definitely going to Wasteland us now is the thing. Definitely going to Wasteland us now. So I think variance got us but good here. Once they realize they can just Wasteland us, this game ends. Please have something you want to play and not Wasteland me. Please make a mistake. Although it would be honestly hilarious if they they don't get rid of the land. There's a brainstorm, sure. Also, if we had brainstormed on that top, we wouldn't have found an instant or sorcery anyway. So my punt was strategic, I swear. Come on, tap the wasteland. Push. All right, then you just wasteland us, and if we don't draw land, we probably just scoop. But if we draw, yeah, okay. So if we don't draw land, I'm just gonna save myself some time and headache here. All right, deck, draw me a land. Brainstorm. Yep, that's a yield through the turn, and just start discarding things. Rid of a brainstorm. Guess we'll wait until our opponent actually shows some threats here. I mean, they're playing the bean control deck, but I guess I still want to see like what their threat is. Hey, Underground Sea. That's not as good as a Delver, but an Underground Sea is not as good as a Volk. We'll take it. Hey, the Delver came out. Cool. Then they play Solitude, draw 2 cards. We have no response, so if you got a way to kill it, you got a way to kill it. Another Fatal Push, it looks like, or Witherbloom command. Murktide Regent. Well, that will certainly put a clock on us. Do they have the Fatal Push after all that? That'd be just icing on the cake. All right, I'll take a land or an instant or sorcery. Murktide Regent. Thanks, buddy. I guess we go Ponder. Opponent's doing some thinking on if they want to counter the Ponder, which I guess is correct, because then I'll sit here and do nothing. Daze, sure thing. So we have 3 turns to try and get rid of the Murktide, and I'm pretty sure their hand's full of counters, plus up the Beanstalk, so any Forcible they have also draws them too. We're doing great right now. This is what you want to see in a game of Magic the Gathering. Oh, we get hit. I mean, our own Murktide's gonna be pretty big if we find another land, but they must have nothing but counters in that hand. There must be some number of Force of Wills. Right, find me something useful. Lands, instant sorceries, all useful. Orcish Bowmaster. How do we continue to find so many unuseful cards? All right, now Orcish Bowmaster me and put me back into the Stone Age opponent. Come on, buddy. You know you wanna. Wastelands. Those are a waste. Put the Dragon Rage back. We ain't gonna play those anytime soon. Just play out Wasteland and pass the turn. Not even bothering attacking at this point. Actually, is there any way for us to get out of this? I don't think there is. I also think I brainstormed wrong because I could have put back Lightning Bolt or Molten Collapse and then flipped Delver, but Leovold. So that gets blown up then. Up the Beanstalk Leovold. That's funny. And they have Stifle. That's even funnier. Oh man, we were just getting taken to town. And we draw our Dragon Rage Channeler and we die. So that is a thing. Going to game 3. All right. So what's good? What's bad? We kind of want some Dazes back now that we're on the play again. Counterbalance is interesting. Maybe take it out because I'm bad with it. Take out Onder. Take out what? Maybe a Bobble. Just only run 3 Dazes and hope for the best. All right, get to go first again. Hand seems good. Keep. We have lands. We have things to do. We have a counter spell if they do something truly heinous. We have a turn 1 Dragon Rage Channeler. What's not to like? So the only thing that would really be unfortunate right now if they turn 1 Wastelands, that would we have nothing to stop that right now. That would just do us dirty. Underground Sea. Underground Sea into what? Ponder. You can ponder. Not worried about the Ponder. All right, they did some pondering and did not shuffle. We find a Delver, which is fine. I think we just hold a Bowmaster for a hot second. So if they want to use the next turn to try and play out a Beanstalk, that's whatever. But if they brainstorm, ha 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 ha. Tropical Island, so up the Beanstalk. Okay, I think it's more important we counter the up the Beanstalk than have a Bowmaster in play. So they use their counter spell on Orchid. Oh, they don't. Well, now what do I want to happen more? Guess we Force of Will. We're gonna get rid of Merc. It'll be a while before we cast that. Yeah, put the dragon in the bin. We're gonna have 3 card types pretty soon. Oh, wow, we even got to, wow, we had our turn on their turn. We find one of our 2 remaining baubles. Oh, no, we just go Delver. Runner. But for now, we swing for 3, which is what this deck wants to swing for 3. This is not how this deck wants to swing for 3. Believe you me, I am quite aware of that. But this deck does want to swing for 3 in some regard. All right, and then we have a Delver, and I'm even okay if you want to daze me. You have a daze? No. If they have a Wrath, they got us. If they have something that destroys everything like 2 mana or less, like we have so overextended, but this is game 3. We are trying to close this out. If it just happens to be a blind flip off the top of the deck, like, oh boy. And also, like, he has to use his first piece of removal on the Orcish Bowmaster, or he really can't draw extra cards without getting heavily punished for it. Each extra card he draws represents 2 extra damage, which makes my clock that much faster. Then again, I have 5 power on the field in piddly little 1/1s. Brainstorm. Oh no. Oh no. You hate to see it. I understand like needing to do that too if like you're missing land drops or something, but oh boy. Just pow pow pow. Now that being said, if they have some sort of Wrath or Sweeper in regardless, or you know, way to make my things go away, then they got me. Oh no, a Ponder. Orcish Foolish Bowmaster. Oh man, I guess if you just don't have anything else going on. Now if we flip our Delvers, that's just the game. Bowmaster is such a nasty card. So we went from having 5 power on the board to having a 5 power, and that's the match. All right then. Something went wrong. I can't see my chat anymore. I have to assume our opponent won the die roll. My hand's fine, though. My computer is very upset at the moment. My computer's very old. The fact that it can record these things and edit these things and not explode. I do play and edit in 4K for the silliest reason. Mostly having to do, well, there goes lightning bolt, I guess. Mostly having to do with the fact that my monitor's 4K. I didn't buy this monitor. It was one that was given to me. So imagine an anemic computer just absolutely trying its best to run, record, and edit these videos that you see. It is a gaming laptop only because I moved to Australia. That is common Dorkator lore. I do live in Australia. So I just needed something that was going to work. And, you know, I believe this counts. The opponent draws a card, goes back up. We find a Brainstorm. We are just going to get down one of the channelers. I feel like this is just a mono black control deck we're up against because it main phased, or it played duress turn 1 and played 2 baubles with no kind of anything to do. So I'm expecting like stalactite stalkers. I'm expecting like briefs and stuff, reanimates. Let's see what our opponent is up to here when they get their second basic down. Look at that basic. Well, it could be a basic, it could be an Urborg. Oh, Urza Saga. That is very good these days. It'll push. Thought Seize. Well, there goes Brainstorm. Ooh, Lightning Bolt, really? I'm surprised that you're gonna let me Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh no. Are they storming off? Huh. They just played the Lion's Eye Diamond. So that happened. I'm going to Brainstorm now so I can shuffle stuff away. Daze goes ban. We have a Daze. Wasteland. Already played our land for turn. I actually think we get rid of the 2. No. We get rid of maybe the 2 counter magics? So one of the Wastelands and the Force of Will we get rid of? I feel like that's wrong, but I also feel like by playing my land out previously kind of locked me into this decision now. Dragon Rage Channeler. We do get to Wasteland their Saga before it does too much damage. They're gonna get a guy, but I don't think it's the worst thing that I also think like I really whiffed what our opponent's doing here. Mox Opal, sure. You need a 3rd artifact though. You have a land. And this Molten Collapse would have been amazing if I got to keep. Oh, they don't. So that's a thing. A Murktide. Well, that changes things a bit. First things first. Do you discard your hand to make it? Oh, you don't. Okay, so this is great now. Begin combat, swing for 2. And we do kind of cash in the graveyard stuff. If they have a way to kill it, they have a way to kill it. But getting a 7/7 down is just too good to pass up. Duress. Well, I'd rather get the Dragon Rage Channeler triggers, because unless it's awesome, it's going in the bin. Force of Will, put it in the bin. Stifle. Stifle might be good. Can't counter a mana ability. I still think Stifle's fine. And now it doesn't matter if they pay or not. All right, well, they again don't have anything to do here. We draw the Stifle, play out the Flooded Strand, swing for 9. Got them on a 2-turn clock. City of Traders. Into what? Now, into Ensnaring Bridge, we got a problem. We have quite the problem if it's Ensnaring Bridge. Painter's Servant, sure. Infernal Tutor. Okie dokie. We have the Stifle for the Grindstone. Thing is, we can only do that once. So we have to hope. Actually, no, I think we should get it because they do it and then we're able to. Oh, okay, yeah. Seems like they figured it out as well. What could be helpful here? Because it's like it's a painter. Oh, Meltdowns, absolutely. So Meltdowns, take out 2 dazes. Brazen Borrower, take out daze. Just leave 1 daze in the deck and try this. All right. We even have our 1 of daze. Hooray. Keep. I think this is fine. The Bowmasters probably come out next game. Now I think about it, they don't really do a ton outside of our opponent's baubles. Duress, sure. You can take a Ponder or a Daze. Probably Daze. I have to assume Daze. Yeah. Opponent continuing to have, oh my god, so many Mishra's baubles in their opening hand. Brazen Borrower, okay. That might come up later, but for right now, we get ourselves a Volk. We tap it for the correct mana, not blue mana. Brian, you silly, silly person. And we play a Darcy, which hopefully survives. Because next turn, we can play a Ponder. And I'll be a Ponder in my orbs. So they know what's next on our deck. They're going to check themselves because they just want to draw the cards. Yeah, I'll just yield. I can't do it. Said yield. Let go. Pay attention when I talk. Vault of Whispers. That can be Wasteland. Oh no. Oh no. Burning Wish to go get whatever. I think they just win. So apparently we need to bring in more counter magic. Peer into the Abyss. Draw half their deck. More Lion's Eye Diamonds. More mana. Oh, did they just like switch into Storm? Yeah, they just kind of switched into Storm. So I have to assume now they just tendrils? Oh no, they're gonna go for Grindstone anyway. You have the Painter Servant. Yeah, Yep. All right. We don't have a null rod. I feel like that's a mistake. So Force of Negations, Orcish, actually, the Orcish Bowmaster shuts down Peer into the Abyss. So what do we want to take out? Molten Collapse is fine. Bowmasters are fine. Brazen Bar is actually too slow. Murktide Regent might actually not get a chance to get out. Anything else we want? I guess the Daze kind of stop them early game. I don't know, find a way to do Daisy's thing. Take out a Ponder, a Bauble, take out a Molten Collapse. Just bring in a bunch more counter magic and try our best to do it this way. Either that, a Minor Misstep, is that any good? Value one or less. One of his early plays. Not too much counter magic. Might be too much counter magic. Let's try this. All right, we'll take play. We will mull again. A Daze, some Wastelands, and a Delver. Is that enough for like a perfect hand? They began with 7 in their hand is the problem, hey. So they duress and they know they can just go off. I'm gonna mull. Okay, we found the Orcish Bowmaster. We'll just put back 2 lands, and we'll hope this Ponder finds us something good. This didn't find us anything. Any order, use Ponder's ability. Found the Lightning Bolt, okay. Lightning Bolt's a Lightning Bolt. Straight into Thoughtseize, there goes Orcish Bowmaster, and now we literally have nothing. With the Bolt, I guess they don't want, yeah. Nice to find something. Meltdown. I feel like we hold that, because they're gonna have to duress anyway. We hold that for now. If they go off next turn, they go off next turn, but we have the Bowmaster to try and stop them a bit. They draw another card. Here's a Saga, sure. That's it. We're gonna have to utilize this now. A Daze is even okay. Daze is even a magic card. So they're gonna make a guy, but we have a Meltdown. We can kind of do Thoughtseize. If they pay it, we lose Meltdown. If they do it, I guess this way we get to keep a card. If they take Daze, they're gonna go off. If they take Meltdown, they're not. They take Daze, so now they can just go off. Although it looks like they're passing for now. All right, we do not want to draw more lands, deck. No more lands if possible. Lightning Bolt. Okay, nothing wrong with a little extra punch. They go get Grindstone now. Got Lion's Eye Diamond. Sure, looks like they're gonna go for it. The only thing we can do is hope the Lightning Bolt gets it, because unfortunately Meltdown is indeed a sorcery. Oh, well then. Yay, Lightning Bolt. Yep, everything, buddy. Water's fine. Come on in. Great. And Bolt. So they do get to mill us a bit, but we have a Meltdown in our hand, and they just scoop the match. All right, let's move on to match 3. All right, major wardrobe change, and we win a die roll. So sometimes there's a lot of time between matches in these videos, just because life does do that, and this is one of those times. So welcome back, myself. It has been about a week, and this hand could be anything. I mean, let's try it. This is a very control-y hand. Why is there a stop on my upkeep? Play the Tarn. Maybe it was from Flip Delta. So let's go ahead and pass and see what our opponent gets up to. If they have a fetch land, we have a Stifle, which is funny. Otherwise, we have Brainstorm. We also have Daze to try and stop them from doing things. Here we go. Go get a Volk. See if I can't stifle my opponent. Please, I was gonna say, please try and force me while I have a Daze. Okay, so that's funny. We've essentially time walked our opponent. Super control-y hand. Soul Ponder. Bowmaster, Brainstorm. Any order, shuffle. Okay, that's better. Next turn, we Delver and just hold up a whole bunch of mana. Do you have another land opponent? I feel a scoop coming on. Yep, there we go. We don't know what they're doing, so you don't want to like overside here. We know they're doing like bluey stuff though. So let's bring in Pyroblast, take out a Storm, take out a Ponder, and just bring in our better counters. Actually, we're on the draw, aren't we? So we can take out some Dazes, put these back where they belong. Might even bring in a Borrower, take out another Daze. Keep 1 Daze in and try that. All right, so we kind of stole that game. Let's be honest. Now we're gonna have to actually play a game. We do have the turn 1 Channeler though. We have a Force of Will backup. Island and Ponder, so that could be anything. I feel like it's probably more of a Delver thing. I feel like a lot of control decks these days have a Yorion, and there's no Yorion here. They choose not to shuffle, so you never want to see that on this side of the table. Ooh, a Ponder, so let's play a Delta. Go get a Volk. Just hope really hard that our opponent doesn't have a Wasteland. So we're gonna get hopefully 3 card types in the bin off of this. Yeah, Brainstorm can go in the bin, which means next turn we can Ponder and get our 4 types. Orcish Bowmaster. Well, that's certainly good to know about. So we are just playing against like a Grixis Tempo list or a Demir Tempo list. So happy I brought in those blasts. Another Ponder. This is gonna be a little awkward, isn't it? Oh, okay, so maybe it's Shadow. Or it could just be the, they could just try and reanimate here. So this is that, like, the big boogeyman of the thing, the black-blue reanimate deck. You should really let me surveil first. Or you can go straight into the counterspell. So now I absolutely know I need removal, so put that in the bin. Puts himself to 13. We're gonna be doing some damage a turn. This also gives us the ability to get our, like, Brainstorms and Ponders done now. I guess we do to Ponder because we want to get the Dragon Rage Channeler up. We definitely don't want a Scalding Tarn. Molten Collapse would be the best thing to find off Ponder. That is a good pile of cards. So, Dragon Rage Channeler probably last. Pyroblast, Molten Collapse, Ability No, pick that up, play the Underground Sea into a Delver. So we're going to take 6, but they're going to also be a 10, and then next turn we have Molten Collapse. Now, if they go into a Troxa or Archon of Cruelty, that's not good, but I don't think they can because they only have 1 black source right now. Okay, so they're just going to hold up Bowmaster, which not going to do it. Oh, they're not even going to hold it up. They're just going to kill the Delver, which I guess makes sense. Okay. Misty. Get the lands out of here. Play that. A red, black. Cast Molten Collapse. Destroy target creature, Planeswalker, the Troll. We get to Surveil. Brainstorm is not what you want to see when you have that many orcs on the other side of the field. And now with this attack, they really can't use Reanimate anymore on any of their good creatures. If they play Atraxa, we can Pyroblast the Atraxa. Really, if they play any blue spell, we can Pyroblast it. The Bowmaster means our Brainstorm in hand's kind of dead, and we're just kind of drawing 1 a turn, which is fine. They don't have Lightning Bolt, so we've been in worse situations. Just another Bowmaster. Animate dead. That is unfortunate. We can't do anything about that. Best we could do right now is draw a Brazen. Lightning Bolt. Well, that does change things a bit, because we can bolt the Bowmaster and then Brainstorm, and then actually even hold up Pyroblast. Or, let's just attack with Dragon Rage Channeler, and if they fetch, they die. Because we can also do the Lightning Bolt Brainstorm at the end of their turn. They can deal a 7, which is close to 9, but luckily not 9. Another Bowmaster. Yeah, if they don't kill the Dragon Rage Channeler, they're just dead. Oh, no, they can deal 8. Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha. So we did that a little wrong. So they attack with everything. We go to kill, I guess, the army token to kind of keep our fetches up. Get to Surveil Bowmaster. Oh, okay. But on top of Library. So we get dealt 6, but then we deal them 4. Because now, even if they have a Daze, I mean, if they have Daze and Force of Will, they win. But I'm hoping that's not where they're at. Oh, we win the match. Okay, we lose the die roll. Doesn't have a threat, but it has everything else. We are on the draw. So the Daze isn't great. I mean, we're 3-0. So we're due for a loss, right? Underground Sea into Ponder. This might be, it's a different person from the last game, I can assure you that. It might be the same deck, though, that kind of Reanimator Rescamimator, I think the Magic community has agreed to call it, is quite a popular deck. It could be Rescamimator. Another Lightning Bolt. We'll just Ponder. We could certainly fill up our graveyard real quick for this Murktide. Wasteland, land. I guess we can take the Wasteland and just use our fetch to switch it up after that. Ooh, they just pondered out right off the bat. So let's see if we can punish them for not playing their land. We can. Okay, cool. Did they have a land in hand? Oh, okay. That suddenly became a lot better. So we draw a land. So we're going to have to use the Misty to kind of stay in this game a bit. Or what we could do is just kind of get rid of that and hope they're completely mana screwed now, because they didn't have a land last turn. So if they have a land, they drew it. Welcome to the Dorkator YouTube channel, where we go over how Grixis Tempo is actually a mana denial deck, and how between Stifle and Wasteland, you can apparently win. Oh no, it's Storm. Oh no. Oh, that's hilarious. We got him for 2 turns and he gets to go off. Wow. Humble pie. Yummy, yummy humble pie. Oh man, that's so brutal. Yeah, buddy, you got it. You got it. Dude absolutely got us. That's impressive how much he got us. Wow. Okay, so it's our turn and we have nothing but lands. So we are gonna even crack this and just get a Volk, and we're just gonna, I mean, if we Ponder, we might be able to find a counterspell. If we, let's Summer Burning Wish. They can Burning Wish into something. Or we just keep up Lightning Bolt and hope they naturally put themselves close to 3. I suppose the Bolt is probably the better plan. They didn't flip over any lands though, but the Mox Opal pretty much counts. It's got 1,000,000 lands. He has a Veil of Summer, but we don't actually have a counterspell. So this chance we got to Lightning Bolt. Burning Wish. Ball Ritual, sure. Burning Wish. Storm count at 5. Or Storm count at 4 should be 5 with whatever they can. I mean, if it's Empty the Warrens, and bravo. If it's it's ad nauseum, then we hope they get greedy. But we're not going to win via normal means at this point. They got us. They bamboozled us real good. Not going to lie. So what did you get? Did you just get a... Sure, you can Veil. I don't actually have Counterspell. Another Galvanic Relay. Oh, okay. Why did you Veil of Summer before Galvanic Relay? They didn't actually quite get... Oh, no, they have the Opal. Okay, they have an Opal. I was going to say, like, they haven't quite gotten there. Oh, end step. Here's my Bolt. Song of Creation. It seems like they kind of have everything going here. I guess we just cast Murktide Regent? Over of Secrets. It doesn't seem like they're going to add Naws. So let's just make ourselves look like Izzet. Play Murktide. Exile all of our cards. And at least, like, put up a threat. I guess they played the Veil of Summer just to get it in their bin for when they Gaia's Will. So they have a Beseech. They have 3... They do have 4 mana with Mox Opal. Dark Ritual. That was a really good card to draw. That was an impressively good card to draw. That kind of hurts, actually. So, what? You Beseech the Mirror, sacrificing the Mox Opal to get what, though? A Song of Creation? You can Song of Creation, and you can cast Mox Opal and Chrome Mox. They did it before they cast Beseech into Song, unless they only have 1 song. They could only have 1 song. Yeah, no, that's a Chrome Mox you can't imprint. They're getting their Storm count up. Are they just going to try and Tendrils? Nothing stopping them. Oh, so they just play Song of Creation. So then why did you play the Chrome Mox? You don't, oh, okay. I gotta say, you really don't have much, and you can't play your cards anymore. Wasteland. So I guess we start with a Ponder and see how good we can make this situation. Daze is funny, but I think they're going to have a whole bunch of lands, so just any order draw. Another Delver. So do we go Delver, or do we play a Wasteland to try and cut them off a land? Because they do have land. They did have a Misty Rainforest and an Underground Sea. They just haven't drawn any more land. They don't have anything they can play because Galvanic Relay is just during your next turn. So they don't have any cards they can play right now. They have to draw them off the top. So I think what we do here is we play Volcanic Island and we just go Delver, and then we swing for 6. Now this isn't lethal unless our Delvers flip next turn. Actually it is lethal because we have a Lightning Bolt in hand, I suppose. So if they find a cheap spell off the top, they have a chance. Because every time they play a spell, they draw 2 cards. So they have to hope they find something that they can play for 2 mana, or even just like another Mox or something to start the kind of big roll here. We do have Orcish Bowmasters in our deck. It's just we haven't found any yet. Oh, they found a land. That's game. So they got nothing. We didn't even have to show off our black side. That's great. Stifle, sure. And we just swing into victory here. All right, against Storm things. So Unlicensed Hearse, Draft-Digger's Cage, maybe even Counterbalance. Meltdown seems good against our opponent. This is exactly 1 or less. I don't think Minor Misstep. Force of Negation, I don't know about that either. I mean, there's a lot of things we could put in. What do we take out, though? So we're on the draw, so definitely take out those. Stifle... fine. I guess the Molten Collapses are kind of not great. So we put in the Force of Negation, we put in the Graveyard Hate, we can even put in Meltdown. Just taking out stuff we don't need. And that seems fine. Fingers crossed. Well, the good news here is we have an Orcish Bowmaster in hand, along with the Dragon Rage Channeler. We have a lot of, like, early game things going on. They are going to go first, so I feel like they're in a much better place because they get to go first. What? You kept a no-lander? Fascinating. This dude's really all in. Misty Rainforest, not really where we're at right now. Echo of Eons. Well, if Orcish Bowmaster gets a shot, like if we make it to turn 2, which we might not, our opponent's deck is all in. You know, we have the Bowmaster that can really ruin their day. But they completely did nothing turn 1. They sat there and did nothing, which leads me to believe they needed to draw like the Echo of Eons to kind of start this clown music. Dark Ritual, sure. Dark Ritual, not great. Burning Wish? Burning Wish, okay, great. Is this into Galvanic? Because then we just hold up Bowmaster. Oh, it's Beseech. So they're going to Beseech into Gaia's Will? Do it all again? Yeah, they Beseech into Gaia's Will. So they can replay the Petal. Ritual, Beseech again. Just get us, I think. So that's a turn 2 kill. Can't do much about that. Thoughtseize, sure. Well, you finally looked into that one, eh? You need an artifact. Oh, I guess you just play the Chrome Mox with no imprint. Yeah. And then you Beseech for the thing. Tendrils of Agony. So just show me Tendrils, and I scoop. Yep. All right, so Dazes come back in. What comes out? I guess a Murktide, Brainstorm. Brainstorm, Ponder. I guess the lightning bolts are even kind of weak. Bowmaster seems good if they're gonna echo. I guess the lightning bolt's kind of the weakest there. And then we can put our dazes back in now that we're on the play, so they're infinitely stronger. So let's try that. All right, so we have counters this time, and we have a threat, and we have a wasteland. So let's see what we can do here. Volcanic Island into Dragon Rage Channeler. Into Thoughtseize, sure. So we're gonna lose one card, probably Force of Negation. I do think I am just gonna wasteland their Underground Sea, though. Ooh, Force of Will, not Force of Negation. Interesting. Let's start with the old Ponder. Bolt, yeah, not really what we're doing. Need kind of threats that stick around. Force of Negation would be offline if kept all this. So I'm gonna any order shuffle. Murktide Region. Okay, that works. Go ahead and just get rid of that. And attack. Next turn we need to find a way to get a third thing in the bin. Either that or we just give up on everything and play Murktide Region and just go for speed. Lion's Eye Diamond, sure thing. Lion's Eye Diamond, sure thing. Lotus Petal, sure thing. Yep. Thoughtseize. So if we Force of Negation the Thoughtseize, we make them think about it, but if we don't Force of Negation the Thoughtseize, we actually have a chance, so I guess we just have to let them Thoughtseize. I mean, if they can win, they can win. Oh, they have an Echo of Eons, so there's a pretty high chance they win. We do also get to get a hand, which is nice. Oop, we unyield because we have a Force of Will. You know what? Punished. Land. Guess we bin that. We have plenty of threats. Okay, they decide to go down the mana. They choose not to shuffle, which isn't a good sign. Volcanic Island into Burning Wish. So we try and stop this. Oh, we win the match. Huh, guess he was done. Let's, that game 5? Is that game 5 going into undefeated thus far? Let's go on to game 5. All right, I believe our opponent won the die roll. Yep, that's a thing. So we're on the draw. We have all sorts of cool stuff, though. We have all sorts of creatures, so as long as our opponent isn't doing anything unfair, we might even get another win here. Ponder, well, welcome to Legacy. Turn 1 blue cantrips are on the menu. All right, so now we get to go get a Volk. Hopefully don't get dazed. Oh, our opponent's thinking real hard about dazing us. Okay. One of the boobles. Yeah, we can put creature in the bin. We have 3 types in the bin, which is nice. We find any instant or sorcery or Dragon Rage Channeler start hitting real hard. A Brainstorm, that tells us nothing. We get to draw a card. Another Delver. Oh, we got plenty of creatures this game. Our opponent has a Brainstorm, so if you spend your entire turn brainstorming, I'm okay with that. It's like a random Magic the Gathering promo. Good old Moto promos with the weird box. I think that's supposed to be the treasure chest logo. So I guess it was like, hey, we'll do the old Brainstorm art from Mercadian Masks, but we'll put it in the new frame. I don't think that card actually exists in paper. I think the Mercadian Mask art only exists in the Mercadian Mask printing. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, though. Ponder. All right, get all of your cantrips out now, opponent. I mean, we have an Orcish Bowmaster, but the question is, do we Orcish Bowmaster or do we just drop 2 1-drops and just try and go ham? Ugh. More lands. So we go get the Underground Sea. Make them really think about it. I'm just gonna leave a Bowmaster for now. We have no way of turning our 1/1s into 3/3s right now, and they're apparently playing every cantrip under the sun. I realize 3 out of probably the 8 they play are already gone. There might be a few more if they play Preordain, but Preordain hasn't really been prevalent in Legacy, ironically, since it showed up in Modern. Merchant Scroll. That's probably not good at all. Well, High Tide. That's not good. That's very bad. Let's not sit here and do nothing. Oh, Force of Will. Okay, so they don't want the Bowmaster out. Ooh, we drew another Bowmaster. That is fascinating. But what if I just play Bowmaster now? Do you have another counterspell opponent? They do. That's so brutal. I mean, they're down to 3 cards, though. Guess we split the difference, play Delver? I mean, they had to take up 4 cards in their hand, though, to stop our Bowmasters. We straight up have nothing, though, if they can go off next turn. I mean, it would be quite the hand if they got to do all that and still get the High Tide at the end. Nope, seems like they have to draw a bit. So please find an instant or sorcery on top of our deck. Molten Collapse, that counts. The problem is I can't actually cast that. Ooh, okay, so attack for 4. The funniest thing is if I play Murktide Regent, it just comes out as a 33. So what are we doing here? I can play Dragon Rage Channeler and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Leave just the artifact in the bin and hope we can kind of parlay this into some sort of Dragon Rage. I mean, another 3 damage. That's 7 damage. That puts them to 3. That means if we draw the bolt, we win. So I guess we're gonna do that. So blue, and then delve away everything. Actually, I can even play one of these and put that back. Leave a creature and an artifact in the bin. Here's my Dragon Rage Channeler. So if we find like a Brainstorm or something, we might even get away with this. But we have put all of our dudes out. The question is, they have 5 cards in hand again somehow. Do they have the ability to do anything? If they do, it's only defensively. A Daze. Well, please play a spell opponent and allow us to finish you off. If you do, we're just going to try and slam things in the bin and win the game. Nope, opponent was smarter than that. I guess we could have dazed our own Molten Collapse and won. Dress Down. Don't want you to draw a card. Bowmaster bin. Not going to draw any of these anytime soon. Underground Sea bin. 3 card types. So he was doing that just to cycle the card. But, yeah, you know, catch as catch can. I did miss lethal there. I could have dazed my own Molten Collapse. Although he could have just dressed down and the Dragon Rage Channelers would have lost their ability. So I guess I didn't miss lethal there. Oh no, but I win anyway. Okay, against High Tide. Force of Negations. Pyroblasts. What am I talking about? Pyroblast. And since we're going to be on the draw, take the dazes out. All right, let's go. All right, so I guess we do have 2 counter spells here. Force of Negate. I mean, it's greedy, but we'll try. And it's greedy because we have the 1 land, but we do have the Dragon Rage Channeler to try and get out of that. And doing nothing is great for me. So now really any draw, including a Dragon Rage Channeler, is quite good. Go get the Volk and just plop our threat down. So then next turn, we have the ability to dig pretty deep thanks to the Dragon Rage Channeler. We want to put pretty much anything that's not a land in the bin because we do want to try and get some lands, get some inevitability up and running here. I think they're just gonna go again, which is interesting. Even find the Scalding Tarn. That's so cool. So we'll go ahead and brainstorm. Another land's probably fine. Okay, cool. So put the bolts back, put one of the lands back. And then do we play the Dragon Rage Channeler? No, I guess we just keep multiple counterspells up. Because there's another land on top. We can always shuffle that away at the end of their turn. They have nothing. Cool. So go get an Underground Sea at this point, and we'll brainstorm. Mishra's Bauble, that does us no favors. Put the 2 lands back. Play a land. Swing. We have 3 card types, but we're not really close to getting the Dragon Rage Channelers online. So we'll go ahead and Murktide Regent, leaving a Pyroblast. It looks like they are going to try and dress down here. Or they might have no, they're probably just going to try and dress down. I will try and Pyroblast it just to see how bad they want it. And it's mostly because of the drawing the card. I don't mind the Murktide Regent not getting any counters. Oh, well, that was surprising. Echoing Truth. Well, I have even more of a reason to want to play Pyroblast now. Counter target spell if it's Surveil what? Ponder. Ponder to bin? Question mark. Then we have types in the bin. The Echoing Truth goes off. So either keep it to get it in the bin or also as Force of Will fodder, and then we have 2 counter spells up. I'm gonna put it to graveyard. I mean, if they have a Force of Will, oh, they don't have a Force of Will, okay. Now we have 3 card types in the bin, so the Dragon Rage Channeler is also really close to even going off. Lorien Revealed, yeah, that's fine. Go get an island, yep. Merchant Scroll. Try and just no thank you that. Ooh, Murktide in the bin, and now our Channeler's up. Okay, so we hit a little bit harder now. Ponder, oh, okay. So we just swing in with our creatures, and we just hold up a Force of Will. Now, will a single Force of Will save us? Who knows? But we'll certainly try. Yeah, I feel like the Merchant Scroll was something they needed to cast. Hey, we win the match. That's 5-0. Let's go to the wrap-up. All right, guys. So a video literally several months in the making just because of how long it took me to finish this out. Again, to remind everyone, I actually started with a different list way long ago, and it just wasn't working. Then I updated to this list, and it took 2 recording sessions to just get 5 in the tank, but we saw it against all types of decks, and it was doing well. This is a very good deck. Now, real quick, what is this deck not good against? Lands. You know, you go up against lands, you're just gonna get dumpstered, truth be told. But hey, it's one of the major decks in the meta for a reason, and we saw it go up against a whole bunch of things. We saw it do well against a whole bunch of things. If you're in Legacy, chances are you have this. It's honestly, with the exception of the reserve list cards of the 6 lands, the 6 dualies, it's a pretty cheap deck. All things considered, you know, there's not exactly any Tabernacles or any of those really weird reserve list cards. You just have to get the common reserve list cards. And then after that, it's just kind of 50-cent creatures and cheapy cantrips. So yeah, it's fun. It's good. Next time I have something a little bit more silly in the tank, but if you have something a little bit more silly, go ahead and email me at heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. That's heydummyplaythis@gmail.com. But yeah, I've been playing with Arclight Phoenixes, not because you've ever seen me use them, not because I'm good with them, but actually, this is one of those weird scenarios where I already have it in paper, and it was just a deck that I could put together without having to take any of my other decks apart. So that should show you how silly it's going to be next time I get a chance to sit down and do one of these. But for the time being, thank you guys very much for watching. I will see you next time. Later.